Enter.
Mrs. Courtney?
Miss.
Oh, sorry. I'm your new teacher, Jeremy Brown, B.A., Oxon.
You're a man.
Yes.
Well, this is most unsatisfactory. This won't do at all.
Oh, I assure you my credentials are impeccable.
Academically, perhaps. I'm talking about sex.
Oh, I also assure you my morals are perfectly respectable, too.
I'm referring to the fact that you are a man. I distinctly requested the local authority to send me a woman teacher, especially in view of what happened with Mr. Warburton.
Mr. Warburton?
Yes. He was teaching English to foreign students last term. I'm afraid he only lasted a month. Then he departed.
Dead?
Demented. Yes, the strain was too much for him. Typical of the male sex. No stamina. Always seemed to be able to cope at first, and then one day he just snapped. It was really quite disgusting.
Really? What did he do?
Climbed out of the classroom window onto the roof, took off all his clothes, and stood there stark naked, singing "I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts."
Very distressing. Well, there's no need to worry on my account. I mean, I'm not likely to climb out of the classroom window.
I know you aren't.
Oh, thank you for your confidence.
It has nothing to do with confidence. We've had the window frames nailed down.
How very thoughtful. Well, I really would appreciate the job, Mrs. Courtney.
Miss
Courtney. I am qualified, and I rather do need a job, what with the economic situation and inflation.
All right, there's no need to whimper. You can start immediately.
Thank you.
On a month's trial.
Thank you.
If you last that long.
I'll do my best. Where will I find my students?
Class 5, down the corridor and turn left.
Right. I'm looking forward to meeting them. I'm sure we're all going to get along extremely well.
Bye.
Well, Mr. Brown?
Yes, thank you. Apart from one attempted murder and a possible race riot, I seem to be coping reasonably well.
Well, what I really came to inform you about was the registration fees for the students.
Ah.
Now, it's £5 per head, and I should be grateful if you would collect the money and bring it to my office in your tea break.
Right, I'll do that.
Well, we have one thing to be grateful for anyway. Sex won't be rearing its ugly little head.
Beg your pardon?
Well, in my experience, it isn't race or religion that causes the problems. It's usually the presence of some foreign beauty. Jealousies, intrigues, all that sort of thing.
Yes, well, looking at my class, I don't think we'd be too bothered with anything like that.
Enter.
Mrs. Courtney?
Miss.
Miss. I've just brought the registration fees for the students.
Ah, good. Now, how many students have you?
9.
So there should be £45 in there.
Well, that all depends upon the rate of exchange.
I don't quite follow.
Not all of them had £5 in English money, so I collected £29.50 in sterling, and the rest is made up of 2,000 yen, 3,000 lira, 250 pesetas, 75 drachma, 50 francs, and 12 Deutschmarks. According to this morning's financial papers, that should give us a profit of £1.42½p.
Then I suggest you take it to the bank in the morning and convert it to English currency.
Right, I'll do that.
Oh, by the way, how's the femme fatale?
Ah, yes, Danielle. Well, at the moment she's in the tea room with Italy, Spain and Greece trying to establish diplomatic relations.
Well, I hope she's not going to cause any bother.
Oh, no, I'm sure she will. Ah, Mrs. Courtney.
Miss.
Miss. Well, I've just dismissed the class for the night. I think we've just about covered all there is to for the first session.
You look a trifle under the weather. Job getting you down already.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Never felt better. There's just one thing, though.
Yes?
That window you nailed down, the one Mr. Warburton climbed out of.
What about it?
I think we ought to put a few more nails in, just to be on the safe side.
Excuse me, please. I am remembering the name. Missy Courtney.
No, Miss Courtney.
Yes, absolutely.
The lady with the large bosom.
She's wanting to see you.
Yes, well, she'll just have to wait.
Excuse me, please. She's already waiting.
She may be the principal, but I have a class to teach. Now, as I was saying about... Miss Miss Courtney. I was just on my way to see you, actually.
That's not the impression I got.
Well, I shan't be a moment,
Oh,
class.
it's all right, don't bother. I merely wanted to tell you that you can expect another student.
Oh, jolly good. More the merrier.
You're not here to make merry, Mr. Brown.
No, it was just a figure of speech.
Well, you better try teaching a few figures of speech to your students.
Yes,
They
well,
seem to be in need of it.
I'm doing my best.
Huh.
Miss Courtney.
Yes?
This new student, what nationality can I expect?
African.
Oh, African. Thank you. Right, now you remember I asked...
Are you Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Oh, I've got a message for you. From her ladyship.
Oh, lady who?
Yeah. Miss Courtney. She's been in here and she wants to see you.
Yeah, I know what she does want.
Yes, Mr. Brown?
You want to see me?
In my office, immediately.
Careful, that's coffee. You'll spill it.
Por favor.
That's coffee.
Gracias.
Yeah.
Qué bueno. Muy bueno.
Cheers. Same again, please.
Oh, nothing, Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
Thank you, love.
Packet of biscuits, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, we haven't any left.
Ah, good, good. You've come to have a cup of coffee?
Coffee?
Yes, coffee, this stuff.
Thank you.
Enter. It has taken you 2 minutes, 38 seconds exactly to come to my office immediately. I'm glad I didn't ask you to take your time.
Well, I'm sorry, I was detained.
Well, I thought I'd better tell you that an inspector has arrived.
Oh, my conscience is clear.
I beg your pardon.
Well, apart from the odd parking ticket, I've never had any trouble with the police.
An education inspector.
Ah, I see. I'm sorry. How stupid of me.
Yes. Well, he'll probably want to call in on your class.
Oh, well, don't worry. I'll deal with him.
You don't deal with inspectors from the local authority, Mr. Brown. You cosset them and flatter them and agree with everything they say.
Yeah, well, I'll do that as well.
I expect he'll want to see your register.
My register?
You do have a register.
Oh, that register? Yes, of course.
Oh, well, you better call it as soon as you get back to your class.
Right.
By the way, while you're here, the local authority want me to fill in a few details about you on this form. Now, I've got your name.
Yes.
Address.
Yes.
Sex.
Occasionally.
Marriage.
Sorry. No. I was engaged once. Matter of fact, I proposed marriage, but it didn't really work out. There was quite a lot of opposition.
A father.
No, a husband. I didn't realize she was married at the time.
What do you do during the day?
Oh, well, nothing at the moment, I'm afraid. I'm waiting for a suitable position.
And what was your last position?
Well, I was teaching at a secondary modern school, but I left. I couldn't stand any more beatings.
Well, I didn't think teachers beat children anymore.
Oh, they don't. It was the other way round.
I think you better take this form and fill it up yourself and bring it back to me later.
Right.
And do be careful what you say to the inspector.
Oh, of course. Oh, by the way, the new student has arrived.
You won't forget to add the name to the register, will you?
Kenyon. Yes. Ah, Miss Courtney, I'm just completing the register and getting the details of our new student before that inspector chappie pokes his nose in.
No. Mr. Brown.
I shan't be a moment, Miss Courtney. What is your job?
Inspector.
Oh, what, local transport?
Local Education Authority.
Ooh. Yeah, I thought he was the new student.
The new student is a female.
Is she? Well, you didn't tell me that.
Oh, my apologies, Mr. Kenyon, and I do assure you that Mr. Brown will be severely dealt with.
I can't remember when I last enjoyed myself so much.
I beg your pardon.
Enjoyed yourself?
You know, Miss Courtney, your Mr. Brown is a remarkable man.
I am?
He is?
Yes. His teaching methods may be somewhat revolutionary, but they appear to work.
I have always encouraged my staff to be forward-thinking.
I'll pass on your comments to the authority. Perhaps they revise their textbooks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must put in an appearance at the other classes. Oh, keep up the good work, Mr. Brown, and thank you very much for the coffee.
I'll come with you, Mr. Kenyon.
Blimey.
Please. Good evening, Miss Courtney.
It's almost good night.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry I'm late. I was detained at the paper shop.
Mr. Brown, I know the times are hard, but do you have to deliver newspapers?
Oh, no, I bought them. They're for the students as part of their education.
Well, they certainly need some education.
Yes.
What is going on?
What is going on?
What is going on?
Yes, well, I'm talking to this lady.
Why is she here?
Well, she's talking to me.
Why is she sitting in the corridor?
Why is she sitting in the corridor?
Must you repeat everything I say? I could have sworn that woman wasn't pregnant yesterday. Mr. Brown?
Oh, he will be here any minute. He's coming from the tea room.
minutes is the normal time allowed for tea, Mr. Brown.
Yes, of course. We were discussing parts of speech.
Well, in future, I'd be obliged if you do it in the class.
Certainly.
Now then, how are your students coming along with their English?
Oh, extremely well.
Good. Then I shall stay and listen for a few minutes.
Ah.
Oh, don't worry, I shan't interfere. I make it a practice to drop in on the classes from time to time to see what sort of progress is being made.
It's beef stroganoff in the cookery class tonight.
Are you trying to get rid of me?
No, I just thought you might fancy a bit. I mean...
Well, I don't, so will you please begin?
Right. For the rest of this period, we're going to talk about shopping.
Oh, I like him. He's very good. Shopping. I like his polonaise. Bum, ba, bum, ba, 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 bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, brum, ba, bum.
Giovanni, that's Chopin. He must have misheard me. No, we're going to talk about shopping, buying things. Now, I have here various items which at some time or another you'll all probably have to purchase, so I'm going to hold them up and ask you to identify them, and we'll see how well you do, all right? Who shall we start with? Ali.
Yes, please.
What is this?
Apple.
Yeah.
Lovely. Jolly good.
You're not supposed to eat it.
Oh, I'm most sorry. I only had a small bite.
May as well finish it now. Suli, what is this?
It is orange.
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 That's better.
You really must work at those R sounds.
I try very hard.
Try saying, round the rugged rock, the ragged rascal ran.
Round the lugged lock, the lagged
Yes, you're going to have to keep practicing. Anna, what is this?
Paper bag.
Yes, but what's inside it?
I do not know. I cannot see inside.
Well, it's flour. You know what flour is.
Yeah, what you wear at a wedding.
No, it's not that kind of flour. This is flour to make pastry and bread.
Ah, Weissmehl.
Yes. Jamila? What is this?
Gajar.
Yes, I'm sure you're right, but what is it in English?
अंग्रेजी में नहीं पता.
Have you never heard of a carrot?
Carrot.
Yes, carrot.
Oh, हाँ. Horse and carrot.
Incredible.
No, Jamila, that's horse and cart. This is a carrot, right? Who can tell me what these are?
Fish fingers.
Good. Well done.
Excuse, please.
No, Ali, don't say it.
What do I not say?
You were going to say something about fish not having fingers?
Yes, please.
Yeah, well, don't bother. Max.
Tomato.
Good. Taro.
Potato.
Potato.
Ah, so.
Giovanni.
Lima juice.
Good. Juan.
Cow juice.
No. Milk.
Ah, sí, milk.
Do you know where we get milk from, Juan?
Sí, señora. The milkman.
Quiet, please. We get milk from cows.
Sí, vaca, cow.
Yeah. Ranjit.
Cornflakes?
No, oats.
Oats? Ah, that is oats. My friend, who I am working with, every morning he's telling me last night he's having his oats. He's telling me he's liking them very much.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Who can tell me what this is?
Bacon.
Good. And where does bacon come from?
And the milkman.
Bacon does not come from the milkman.
Every week I buy the bacon from the milkman.
Pig. Pig.
Pig? You are calling me a pig? You are a pig, you Italian ravioli.
Ah, shut your plates of meat, you Uncle Milk.
All right, that'll do. One, what Giovanni was trying to say is that bacon comes from a pig.
Sola!
Now, can anyone tell me what we call a pig after it has been killed?
Yes, please. It is a dead pig.
No, Ali, you know that's pork. Right. What is this? Anybody?
Tin of meat.
Yes. Well, actually, it's a tin of dog meat.
Oh, blimey. You are putting dogs in tins to eat?
I think I've heard enough.
They are better than they were.
They could hardly be worse.
She's absolutely right, you know. Some of you are very behind with your English. I mean, I spend a lot of time preparing these lessons, and some of you don't take them half as seriously as you might. It's time you all put your shoulders to the wheel. Miss Courtney, how nice to see you.
I'm afraid I can't return the compliment.
Come on, on you go.
Good night. Sorry about all that.
Come on now, quickly. Hurry up. Good night. Good night. Quickly.
I'll go and see if there's anybody else about.
I really am very sorry.
I should hope you are.
Hope it hasn't inconvenienced you.
Well, of course it's inconvenienced me. I was quite happily curled up in bed with Daphne du Maurier.
I am really sorry about this. Oh, I've...
Now what's the matter?
Well, I've left my shopping in the
Well,
class.
for heaven's sake, hurry up and get it.
Thank you.
For heaven's sake, are you going to take all night?
No, I'm just putting these things away.
Well, do hurry up. Sid? Sid! Sydney! For heaven's sake, we're locked in.
Oh, well, we mustn't panic. We can last out till Monday morning. Have a carrot. Let's have a sing-song, shall we? Shall we start with Daisy? You know how it goes. Daisy, Daisy. Will you say it? Ah, Miss Courtney.
What on earth is going on in here?
Well, we were just having a few practical lessons.
What in? Unarmed combat?
Oh, it might come in useful.
Oh. Well, I'm afraid your students will have to do without you for a little while. You're wanted down at the police station.
The police station?
Well, there's no need to look so guilty. It's nothing you've done. It's about one of your students, the Indian lady.
Oh, Jamila. What, has something happened to her?
Yes. She's been arrested for shoplifting. What are you doing here?
Yeah, well, I suppose you could say it was an extracurricular activity.
Sir, excuse me. He's stuck.
What are you doing with that jar?
Trying to get it out.
Yeah, well, it's a long story, Miss Courtney. I'll explain later. Let me give you a hand. Pull, pull. Good evening, Miss Courtney, or should I say mother?
Please don't remind me of last night's unfortunate incident.
Sorry.
I hope you've explained to your Indian lady the difference between free and free offer.
Oh, yes, she understands it now. Don't worry, it won't happen again.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a Jamila Ramjet.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I hope not. Why do you want, Jamila?
Well, she ordered a mini bike from us a month ago and she hasn't paid for it. We sent her 3 invoices.
She actually ordered the bike?
Oh, yeah, she sent in the coupon. Look, here it is.
Oh, no, she's done it again. 7-day free trial.
Enter.
You wanted to see me, Miss Courtney?
Yes. Oh, I understand it's your birthday.
That's correct. Another milestone.
Personally, I don't believe in celebrating birthdays. I fail to see how the passing of years can be an occasion for rejoicing.
No, of course, you're right, I suppose.
Now, Mr. Brown, when you commenced teaching here, I said that I would give you a month's trial.
Yes.
Well, that month is now up, and I feel it only fair to put an end to your worry about the future.
Well, that's very kind of you. I can assure you, you won't regret it.
I know I won't. Miss Hardacre will start on Wednesday.
Miss Hardacre?
Yes. She will be taking over your class. You remember I did tell you that I prefer women teachers.
You mean I've got the push?
Well, let us just say that we no longer require your services. I feel that Miss Hardacre will be much more suitable.
Yeah, well, in that case, I suggest you get Miss Much More Suitable Hardacre to take over tonight, because I'm going home.
You can't just walk out like that.
Oh, yes, I can. And I won't say it's been a pleasure, because it hasn't. All I can say is, in India, you'd be sacred.
I was just going to look in on your old class.
I was wondering... Sorry.
After you.
No, after you.
Well, I was just wondering whether you'd consider coming back.
I was just going to ask you if there was any chance of coming back.
That's settled then.
I thought you preferred women teachers.
I do. But Ms Hardacre was more masculine than most men I've met. Well, do you want your job back or don't you?
Oh, yes.
Good, you've got it.
We win! We win! Mr. Brownies are coming back!
Mr Brown?
Hello, Miss Courtney.
Why are you creeping about?
Well, I didn't want to disturb you.
Very considerate. And perhaps you wouldn't mind creeping into the office for a moment. I want a word with you. You may sit. Now, Mr Brown, the other evening, after everyone had gone, I went into the gentleman's toilet.
Oh, I'm sure that was a perfectly natural mistake.
I went because the caretaker had complained about the graffiti on the walls. And Mr Brown, it is just not good enough.
Oh, I don't know. I thought some of it was rather witty.
It was disgusting. Someone had written Enoch Powell rules OK.
Yes, well, with all due respect, I'd hardly call that disgusting.
It was what was written underneath that I found most objectionable.
Oh, what was that?
Miss Courtney is crackers.
Yes, well, it may not have been one of my students who was responsible.
There certainly was.
How can you be so sure?
Who else but a foreigner would spell crackers, K-R-A-K-K-E-R-S?
Well, I'll see it doesn't happen again.
There's just one more thing, Mr Brown.
Yes, Miss Courtney?
In a few weeks' time, your students will be sitting for their lower Cambridge certificate.
Yes, and we're all looking forward to it. I'm sure we're all going to pass with flying colours.
And you have more faith in them than I have. Now, here is a set of last year's examination papers. I suggest this evening that you set them a mock exam and see how good or otherwise they are.
We were having our photograph taken.
I was not aware that photography was included in the curriculum.
Yes, well, would you all sit down, please? And, Danielle, would you stand up?
But what about our photo?
Yeah, well, we'll see about that later, all right? Go sit down. It was for her parents.
I just came to bring you the answers to last year's examination papers.
Thank you.
Huh. Mr. Brown, your students have been at it again.
What? Not more graffiti?
No, not this time. Read this.
Young virile male student wishes to meet nice lady from cookery class for evenings of mutual pleasure. Apply Maximilian Papandreou.
Kindly inform Mr. Papandreou that the notice board is for official notices and not for procuring young women.
Right. I'm sure his intentions were quite innocent.
Evenings of mutual pleasure?
Yes, well, he probably only wanted her to whip up an omelette.
Well, tell him to whip up his own omelettes.
Right, I'll have a word with him.
See that you do.
Your coffee, Miss Courtney.
Thank you, Gladys. Oh, by the way, Mr. Brown, how is the mock examination coming along?
Oh, well, we haven't started it yet. We're going to get cracking just as soon as we've finished our tea break.
Well, I do hope that the results will be good. Otherwise, I shall have to think about axing the course.
Axing the course? You wouldn't do that, surely?
I most certainly would. It would be a complete waste of time for them to carry on and sit for an examination they have no hope of passing. Thank you, Gladys.
Well, that's it. Ah, Miss Courtney, did you want me?
No, I just thought that I would supervise the class during their mock examination.
Yes, well, there's no need to do that. I'm quite capable of doing it myself.
Mr. Brown, when the students take their real exam, you will not be allowed to stay in the classroom, never mind supervise. It's a precaution against any attempt to cheat.
Cheat?
Yes. It has been known in the past for an over-enthusiastic teacher to provide his students with the answers.
Really? How contemptible.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have exactly 1 hour to complete this paper, starting from now.
Excuse me, please, Miss Courtney.
Yes?
Can I spend a penny, please?
All right, but hurry. Would you like to go to the toilet, Mr. Brown?
No, not at all.
Everyone else has been.
Yes, well, it's probably the cold weather.
We have another 5 minutes, Miss Schmidt.
I'm finished.
Oh, good. Then I'll take a book. Has anyone else finished? Splendid. Now collect up your books and I'll take them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Gracias.
Thank you. I shall take these home with me tonight and mark them personally.
I do hope they've done reasonably well.
So do I. Otherwise, it's the axe.
Oh, blimey. You're chopping his head off?
Only metaphorically. Oh, you have about 2 minutes, Miss Chung.
Not necessarily. Finished.
Thank you. Well, good night, everybody. I shall see you all tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, just a minute, Miss Courtney. Won't you need the answers?
I shan't need them, Mr. Brown. However, I might as well take them. It might speed up the marking. Oh.
Is something the matter?
These are the wrong answers. Oh, these aren't the answers to last year's paper. They're the previous year's. I must have picked them up by mistake. Oh, I suppose last year's answers must still be in my filing cabinet. Are you feeling all right, Mr. Brown? You look a little peaky.
No, I'm fine. Never felt better.
Mr. Brown?
Good evening, Miss Courtney.
Mr. Brown, I marked your students' examination papers last night.
Yes, well...
Unbelievable.
I can't explain.
Everybody answered every question correctly.
You see, what happened? What did you say?
Everybody answered every question correctly.
Good Lord.
I told you it was unbelievable.
It was positively miraculous.
See for yourself?
But these are the answers you gave me last night.
That's correct.
But you said they were the previous year's answers.
Yes, but I discovered last night that I had also given you the previous year's questions. Congratulations, Mr. Brown. Your students are a credit to you. Excuse me, Mr. Brown. Do you mind if I intrude for a moment?
No, not at all.
Well, the school is holding a draw next weekend, and I'm selling tickets for it.
Excuse me, this drawer you are selling tickets for?
Yes.
What sort of drawer is it? Is it from the dressing table or what?
It's not that sort of drawer, Angie.
It's a raffle.
1,000 apologies.
Now, it's in a very good cause, the old age pensioners. Tickets are 10p each. Who's going to buy some? Well, what about you, Mr. Singh?
Thank you very much, but I must decline.
But it's for the old age pensioners.
Yes, but what am I going to be doing with one if I win?
The pensioners are not the prizes.
1,000 apologies again.
The first prize is a weekend for two in Paris.
Oh, I'll take one. I wouldn't say no to a weekend in Paris.
Why not we share the ticket together? Maybe we can share the weekend too.
That is immoral.
Oh, but it's very nice.
I am sure that Mr. Brown wouldn't dream of doing any such thing. Would you, Mr. Brown?
No, of course not.
I think I'll leave these tickets with you. Do you think you can get rid of 2 books?
Well, I don't...
Excellent.
Excuse, please.
Sorry, we are late.
We are delayed because of the reason of mist.
Mist?
Yes, please.
It's a perfectly clear night. How can you have been delayed by mist?
We missed the bus. Then we had to go to the dressmakers for a fitting.
You're not having a dress made.
No, not Ari, me.
She's having a dress made for wedding.
Wedding? You mean you're getting married, Suli?
Yes, next week at Legislative Office.
Well, I must say, kept rather...
Thank you.
Where's,
I've sent her to the tea room.
Oh, good. Well, I think it might be a good idea if Ellie and I were left alone. I presume you'll speak to Miss Suli?
You presume wrong. I think Mr. Nadim should do his own dirty work.
Well, Ellie...
Mr. Brown, this is most unsatisfactory.
Well, I agree.
Well, what are you going to do about
Well, there's
this?
only one thing I can do. If you can't beat them, join them. Oh, school. I must phone the school. Oh.
Yes? How dare you, you dirty old man!
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Whoever you are, are, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
It's me, Jeremy Brown.
Well, what are you doing, making obscene phone calls?
I'm in bed with Flo.
In bed with who?
Flo?
Well, this is most inconvenient. Typical of the weaker sex. I shall expect you to be better by Monday. In the meantime, I suppose I shall have to take your class. What are you doing here?
I warm bed for Master Ji.
It's all right, Miss Courtney. She means she was just warming a hot water bottle for me.
Mr. Brown, it is highly improper for this young lady to be here alone with a man.
Ah, well, I can assure you, Miss Courtney, that nothing improper is taking place.
Mr. Brown, where can I hang my dress?
Mr. Brown?
Hello, Miss Courtney.
This is disgraceful.
No, please. This is Congo.
Silence! I suggest you all leave immediately.
Well, thank you all for visiting me. It made my flu time really pleasurable.
Good evening.
As for you, Mr. Brown, words fail me.
Oh, come on, Miss Courtney. They're only coming here to cheer me up a
I
bit.
warn you, Mr. Brown, that if this sort of thing ever occurs again in the future, you are out.
Mr.
Brown!
Excuse me, Mr. Brown.
Ah, hello,
Miss
Gladys.
Courtney wants to see you in the tea room.
Ah, all right. I'll be as quick as I can. Giovanni, would you take charge of the class while I'm away?
Si, professor.
I think you better come too, Pedro.
Por favor.
Miss Courtney's found your fishy friend.
Are you going to answer me? Look, what is your name? Who are you and what are you doing here?
What seems to be the problem, Miss Courtney?
This is. I just came in here and found him. Well, he seems to be some sort of foreigner, but I can't get a word out of him. Is he one of yours?
No, I'm not.
Well, you can find out what he's doing here. After all, you do seem to have a way with these foreign persons.
Oh, I'll do my best. Hello? What is your name?
Excuse me, Mr. Brown.
Ah, what is it this time, Gladys?
There's another one turned up.
Another what?
A Rusky. I've shown him into Miss Courtney's office.
I am Captain Ivan Ivan.
Are you?
Da. And you are Mrs.
I am Miss Courtney.
A fine woman like you has no husband?
No.
I am understanding you prefer to have the lovers.
Certainly not. Now, will you please get to the point?
I have reason to believe that one of my men is here.
Really?
Oh, come, Mrs. Courtney.
Miss.
Miss. We both know he's here. He must come back to the ship and return to Russia.
That is for him to decide. Enter.
Wish to see me, Miss Courtney?
This is Captain Ivan Ivanovich. Mr. Brown, our English teacher.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. I welcome you to England. You and your compatriots are perfectly safe here. Don't have to go back to Russia if you don't want to.
Mr. Brown.
Yes?
The captain has no wish to stay here. He has come to take back the other person.
Ah, but you can't do that.
Why not?
Well, he doesn't want to go back. He's met this girl, you see, and they want to get married.
No, it's impossible. We are only being here for the one night.
Well, it was love at first sight.
No, peoples do not fall in love at first sight.
Peoples do.
I tell you, he cannot be getting an English wife.
Why not?
Because he already has a Russian one.
Saying that he's already married.
To Anastasia.
Well, this puts an entirely different complexion on the matter. I'm afraid we have no alternative but to return your roving shipmate. Will you see to it, Mr. Brown?
Very well.
You are a woman of great perception as well as being beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You are reminding me so much of your great national figure.
Oh, yes, people have said I resemble the Queen.
No, not the Queen. British Bulldog.
Enter.
Miss Courtney, we've got a bit of a problem. Captain Ivanovich is outside.
Oh, don't tell me his compatriot has escaped.
Oh, no, Boris is safely on his way back to the ship.
Well, then why has the captain returned?
Well, he wants to defect. You see, he says, like Boris, that he's fallen heels over head in love.
Oh, these foreigners are impossible. Why, tell him to go away. His infatuations have nothing to do with us.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid this one has. You see, he says he's fallen in love with you.
Little English bulldog. I am loving you, Mrs. Courtney.
Miss Courtney.
Well, well, if it isn't the college Casanova.
Yes, well, I've come to explain about that.
Are you sure you can spare the time?
It's a complete misunderstanding. You see, I'm not really engaged to Danielle. She only said that to stop one of the teachers from pestering her.
Really?
Oh, it's perfectly true. The chap who takes the woodwork class was trying to shut her up.
Mr. Jarvis?
Is that his name? Well, I've never met him. Anyway, she concocted the whole thing just to get out of an embarrassing situation.
I see.
I'm terribly sorry. Especially in view of, well...
In view of what?
Yeah, well, I hardly like to mention it.
Well, you have mentioned it, so you may as well continue.
Well, let me say right away that it's a perfectly natural thing to happen.
What is?
Well, for one person to be attracted to another despite a difference in their ages.
To what two persons are you referring?
Well, you and I.
You and I?
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Brown, I'd no idea you felt like that about me. Well, as you said yourself, it's perfectly natural. Oh, you poor dear boy.
Oh, no, Miss Courtney, you don't understand.
Oh, but I do. Men have always found me rather fascinating.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. Look, let me explain.
Now, there's no need to apologise for the way you feel.
Yes, but
Of course, it's out of the question.
But, Miss Courtney, please.
Now, don't start grovelling. Go get over it.
Yes, I suppose I will.
And now I suggest you go and squash this foolish rumour about you and your French fiancée.
Right, I'll do that. Thank you.
And Mr. Brown.
Yes, Miss Courtney?
Don't worry about this other little affair. I shan't tell a soul. Your secret is safe with me.
You're very kind.
Poor fellow.
Oh, come on, Duff.
Ah, just the two persons I wanted to see. What's all this I hear about a fight?
It's just a private matter between Mr. Brown and myself.
Nonsense. It's common knowledge throughout the whole school. Now step into my office, shut the door behind you, and take heed, for I shall not tell you again. I will not have members of my staff brawling in public. I absolutely forbid it.
You do?
Most definitely.
Oh, good. I mean, what a pity. I was quite looking forward to it.
That's not the impression I got.
Do you mean to tell me that you were actually looking forward to this fight?
Oh, yes. Besides, there was a point of honour at stake.
What point of honour?
Well, this person insulted Miss Danielle Favre. He forced his attentions on her.
I see. Male chauvinism, eh, Mr. Jarvis?
Well, why not? Women like to be dominated.
Nonsense.
Oh, come now, Miss Courtney. Man is by nature the hunter.
Oh, well, this puts an entirely different complexion on the matter.
It does?
Yes. Much as I abhor fighting, I feel that under the circumstances, perhaps your motives were justified.
No. We can have our little punch-up in the yard.
Certainly not.
Oh, thank goodness.
You will settle your differences in a much more civilised and sporting manner.
Oh, I quite agree. How about a game of chess?
The school has a perfectly good gymnasium. If you must knock each other about, I suggest you do it there tomorrow night after class. Sid, your father? Are you sure?
Afraid so.
What did he say when you told him?
Well, I haven't told him yet.
But you must.
Oh, I don't know. Some things are best left alone. I mean, after all, it was a long time ago. Nearly 30 years.
The truth, Mr. Brown, must be told.
Do you think it's wise? I mean, it's a bit of a shock to realise that you're related to someone so rough and vulgar.
Oh, nonsense. I'm sure Sid will soon get used to you.
Thank you.
You know, come to think of it, and looking at you now, there's quite a resemblance.
Sid and me?
Yes, especially the profile. Like father, like son.
Oh, dear.
What about your mother?
Yeah, what about her? According to Sid, she sounds a right old dragon.
Well, I think it's very romantic. Enter.
I just brought the stockroom key back. Sorry, I'm not protruding, am I?
No, Sidney, of course not. Quite the opposite. In fact, your presence here is most opportune.
Oh.
Mr. Brown has something to say to you, haven't you, Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Well, I'll leave you two alone.
What do you want to say, son?
Mr. Brown!
Yeah, darling, what do you want? Sorry, Miss Courtney, I was miles away.
Well, did you tell him?
Yeah, well, I don't think I really ought to, actually.
But of course you must tell him, Mr. Brown. There's no other alternative.
Oh, there is.
What's that?
Well, I could shoot myself.
Silence! This is disgraceful. 10 minutes past 7 and Mr. Brown has not arrived.
Oh, but you're mistaken. He's here. Isn't he, Anna?
Yeah.
That's right, he's always early.
Yes, please. Tonight he was here so early that he was here 10 minutes before he arrived. He's just gone out.
Oh, and where has he gone out to?
Toilet.
I beg your pardon.
Tea room.
Would you like to try again?
What they mean is, first he goes to the tea room, then the toilet.
Yeah. Oh, Miss Courtney, sorry I'm late.
Oh, but you're not.
Really?
According to your students, you were here all the time.
Ah, yes, well.
Well, where exactly were you?
But we told
I am asking Mr. Brown. Well?
Ah, yes,
And what is going on?
I don't know, but from their sign language, I think they're trying to say that I was having a cup of tea in the toilet. Actually, Miss Courtney, I'll tell you the truth, I am late, and the reason is this. I just popped across to the pub for some cigarettes, was mistaken for a waiter, bought 2 drinks for 2 people I'd never even met before, was called a peasant, and finished up by pouring a glass of lager over a gentleman's head.
You're an even bigger liar than your students. I would have thought that you would have made an effort to be early this evening. After all, it is your last chance to teach them something before they take their exams tomorrow.
Yes, Miss Courtney, you're quite right, as usual.
Not that I think any of them have the remotest chance of passing.
Right, come on.
What is going on in here?
Oh, nothing.
Well, it certainly doesn't look like nothing.
Ah, well, I was just writing a letter for Zoltan to his girlfriend, and he was showing me his appreciation in Hungarian.
Kindly leave us.
Bocsánat.
Go. I said go. Go. Now, Mr. Brown, I understand that none of your previous students passed their lower Cambridge certificate.
Ah, well, I think there were a few near misses.
That is not good enough. Obviously, Mr. Brown, you are sadly lacking in the necessary qualities required to teach English.
Oh, just a moment.
Don't interrupt. I shall be keeping a very close eye on you this term, Mr. Brown, and unless I see a marked improvement, out you go.
Well, it's not
I
necessarily
have no
altogether-
wish to listen to your feeble excuses.
Pompous old cow.
What was that?
Oh, I said, I'm just going now.
I'll just see what this letter is first.
Oh, I shouldn't bother if I were you. You never know where it's been. It could be full of germs.
Oh, don't be so ridiculous. You know, I seem to recognise this writing. It looks remarkably like yours, Mr. Brown.
Oh, it's nothing like mine. It just looks like mine.
Oh, well, I better open it.
I think I'll go.
I haven't finished with you yet.
You will have when you've read that letter.
I beg your pardon.
Nothing.
Good heavens.
Miss Courtney,
I have never read anything like this in my life.
I can explain.
Just listen to this.
I'd rather not.
Dear Miss, I am writing to tell you of my feelings for you.
You see, I thought I'd won it. Pardon?
I want to hold you in my arms and kiss you. You did write this letter, Mr. Brown.
Ah, yeah, well, not to you.
Well,
I mean,
it's the letter you were writing for that Hungarian student.
Yes, you see, what must have happened...
You don't need to go on. I mean, it's obvious he's been smitten by my charm and beauty. I have told you before, Mr. Brown, that I do have this strange fascination for the opposite sex.
Oh, yes. Very strange.
You may not believe this, Mr. Brown, but when I was a young girl, I was very plain.
Quite so.
Ah, I see. Ah, Miss Courtney.
Mr. Brown, is this another of your foreign students?
No, he's an ATC.
I don't care what nationality he is. It's time you were in the classroom.
Madam, my name is Forbes.
He's hyphenated.
How unfortunate.
I'm here from the town hall. We have some news from the palace.
Victoria or Crystal?
Buckingham. I'm here in connection with the royal visit to the borough next week, and as the Duke himself laid the foundation stone of this building, it has been suggested that Her Majesty and His Royal Highness pay a brief informal visit to the school.
The Queen and Prince Philip coming here.
Next Tuesday.
Did you hear that, Mr. Brown? They're coming here, the two of them, together in person, him and her, together in person.
Oh, calm down, Miss Courtney. Don't overexcite yourself.
I was getting overexcited. I'm being perfectly calm about the whole thing. The old battle-axe is here.
Well, I wasn't meaning you, Miss Courtney.
Well, I trust you are not referring to Her Majesty.
Oh, no. I was referring to Gladys, the tea lady.
Huh. Here.
What's this for?
Well, it is not for sticking in your buttonhole. It is to wave at the royal personages. You going to change?
Into what?
Well, you surely don't intend to greet our distinguished guests in that jacket. Haven't you anything a little more formal?
I've got a black tie I wear for funerals.
Here. Well, that's better.
Feel as if I'm going to a cup final.
Sydney, go and sweep the schoolyard.
I swept it up once.
Well, sweep it again.
You wouldn't like me to go down on my hands and knees and scrub it, would you?
Don't be ridiculous. It wouldn't dry before they arrive. I think I'll go and polish the silver.
What silver?
Well, I brought my silver tea set in case they wanted a drink.
Oh, perhaps the Duke would prefer a tot of rum, being an ex-naval man.
Oh, dear. I hadn't thought of that. Oh, well, he'll just have to make do with sherry.
Shall I ask Gladys to make up a couple of ham rolls in case they feel a bit peckish?
Ham rolls? You can't give royalty ham rolls. This is a very special occasion. Tell her to open a tin of salmon.
They won't want anything to eat.
It is better to be prepared. I wonder if we should have got a red carpet.
Look, why don't you go the whole hog and ask the music class to play the national anthem as they enter? This is supposed to be an informal visit.
I don't think you're approaching this special occasion in the right attitude.
I think you're being carried away.
Nonsense! This is an opportunity for all the staff and students to show their loyalty and devotion to our sovereign. It's up to the entire school to make a good impression. One never knows where it may lead. The New Year's honours list isn't far away.
Honours list?
Yes. A knighthood could be within your grasp.
A knighthood?
Mr. Jeremy Brown.
Arise, Sir Jeremy. Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Majesty?
I beg your pardon.
I thought you were the Queen.
Have you been drinking?
No, just daydreaming.
Well, you had better wake up. They are due to arrive in half an hour. Now, where are your students?
They're in the cloakroom, changing.
Changing?
Yes, they insisted on wearing...
Oh, yes, very comfortable. Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Brown, but they will be here any moment now, and I thought it would be rather nice if one of your students were to present this to Her Majesty.
I'll do that.
It is usual for a bouquet to be presented by a lady.
With that skirt, who's gonna know the difference?
Come outside and I'll show you.
Yeah, all right, do sit down. Now, who do you suggest, Miss Courtney?
Well, how about Jamila?
Yes.
Jamila, dear, will you come here? And for goodness sake, girl, get rid of that knitting. Now then, Jamila, I want you to wait with me in the hall until their majesties arrive, and then you can present this to the Queen. You curtsy first, and then you give it to her. Now, let's try that. I am the Queen.
Miss Courtney?
No, Jamila, come on, she's just pretending.
Oh, I am understand. Here you are, Queenie.
You do not speak until you are spoken to, and then you address her as Mom. Now, let's try again. Try it again.
Mr. Brown! She's here, she's arrived, she's outside!
She can't be.
She must have come in by the back entrance.
But don't leave her standing outside, Sydney. Show her in. So pleased to meet you, Ma'am. Where is your husband?
He's in the woodwork club.
I do hope we shall have the pleasure of meeting him later on. This is Mr. Brown, our English teacher.
How do you do?
Mum.
Jamila.
Oh, how kind.
And in this class, we are endeavouring to teach English to foreign students.
Excuse me, Miss Courtney.
Don't interrupt, Mr.
Yeah, but I think you should know...
Mr. Brown.
All right, please yourself.
Would you care for a cup of tea?
If it's not too much trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble at all.
You must come round and have a cup of tea with my husband and I sometime.
It's here, we'll find it.
Oh, well, perhaps I should come back later.
Ah, Mr. Brown, you can join in.
Well, I'm not really that religious, actually.
We are looking for a fly.
A fly?
Oh, yes, it's 2 inches long, brown, red and black, and got a curly tail.
Sounds quite lethal.
Oh, would you mind helping us look for it?
No, not at all. Oh, I found it.
Where?
It's here, just under the desk.
Oh, I'll get it.
No, stand back, Sid. You leave this to me.
What's he doing, Mr. Brown?
Stay where you are, Miss Courtney. This could be dangerous. Yeah, that's right. Not moving now.
Mr. Brown.
Just a minute. Better to be safe than sorry. There.
Oh, I've just remembered. I haven't inspected the boilers.
Have you quite finished, Mr. Brown, or would you like to borrow a hammer?
You can't be too careful where strange insects are concerned. Have you any idea where it came from?
Yes, W. Parker and Son.
Pardon?
Fishing tackle suppliers.
Oh, fishing... It wasn't...
It was.
Oh, dear. Got any glue?
I don't think trout are very fond of glue.
No, I suppose they don't. I'll buy you another.
Oh, I see that you do. Excuse me. Hello? Speaking. Pardon? Is it you? Is it really you? It is you. It's him. What, coming here? You're not coming here. You are coming here. He's coming here. Half an hour. You'll be here in half an hour. He'll be here in half an hour. Thank you. Until then.
You feeling all right?
That was him.
Yes, he's coming here in half an hour, but who is him? I mean, who is he?
Well, it's a man I never thought I'd see again. My ex-fiancé.
You mean you were actually engaged at one time?
Well, there's no need to sound so surprised. But it was over 25 years ago. I mean, I was just... Well, I was very young. I met him at Oxford, in the High. It was raining, he offered me shelter under his umbrella, and he insisted on buying me a cup of tea and a sticky bun.
How romantic.
Yes, well, that was how it all started.
Why didn't you get married?
Oh, it was awful. He left me.
Well, at the church?
In a lurch. Oh, Mr. Brown, I have never told anyone this before.
Oh, well, if you'd rather not.
No, sit down.
Well?
For years I have kept this terrible secret to myself. Now he is coming back into my life again, and I feel I must tell someone. And I think I can trust you, Mr. Brown.
Well, I'd rather not if it's going to cause any embarrassment.
Oh, it won't embarrass me.
Yeah, but it might embarrass me.
No, I'm sure it won't. Well, anyway, he, asked me to go down to Brighton with him for one of those, you know, weekends.
Oh, double room, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Exactly.
And you refused?
Oh, no, I went. I even remember the hotel. The Bella Vista, opposite the abattoir.
Very Bella Vista.
Well, we booked in, and Albert, being the thoughtful man he was, he let me go upstairs first to prepare myself, as it were, whilst he had a drink in the bar.
Getting up a bit of Dutch courage, eh?
I beg your pardon.
Oh, he was such a lovely person waiting to be, What happened then?
He didn't turn up. He got drunk, passed out, and spent the night on a settee in the residence lounge.
How despicable.
Well, I went home and I refused ever to see him again. I heard later that he was working in the Far East. But I must admit, I have always cherished a secret hope that he might one day come back.
Excuse me, please.
Yes, Harley, what is it?
Please come quickly. We are having plenty trouble in the classroom.
Oh, what do you mean, trouble?
Maxie and Giovanni, they are murdering.
Enter!
You feeling all right?
Yes, why?
You sound as if you're in pain.
I was singing. I am sorry to bring you away from your class, Mr. Brown, but before you leave this evening, would you mind checking that Sid's locked up properly?
Absolutely, so it should be.
I was referring to the building. You see, it is quite likely that I may be leaving early. Oh, to think he's come back in my life after 25 years. I think I need another sherry to settle my stomach.
What's the matter?
He's here. Look.
Where?
Down there.
Oh! Oh!
You stupid fool. You have crowned my Albert. Enter. Hello, darling. It's you. Oh, where's Albert? You haven't pushed him down the stairs, have you?
No, he's just gone to comb his hair.
Well, is he all right? There's no damage, I hope.
I'm afraid there is, actually.
Oh, dear. Is it bad?
Well, the plant pot's broken.
I was referring to Albert.
Oh, Albert. No, he's fine. I'll get it.
Darling! Oh, it's you.
Yes, this is Darling. Miss Courtney.
Albert!
Dolores!
Dolores?
Haven't you a class to attend to?
Yes, of course, darling. Dolores. Excuse me. Dr. 2P must have rolled away somewhere.
Going? Albert?
Everything all right, sir?
Hey?
Everything all right?
I've just seen a fellow I haven't seen for years, Albert Collins.
Oh, Albert, Miss Courtney's boyfriend.
Never.
Yes, true.
He's a crook, he's a con man.
Oh, you must be mistaken. He's just come back from the Far East. He's been away for 20 years.
He's been away all right, doing some porridge.
He's been in prison.
He was in the nick with my brother-in-law. He's in and out of there like a fiddler's elbow. Do you know what his speciality is? Finding lonely women, asking them to marry him, taking their life savings and scarpering.
I'm getting married in the morning. Enter. Ding dong, the bells are going to try.
Miss Courtney, I'm afraid I've got some rather disturbing news.
Oh, nothing you could say to me today would disturb me, Mr. Brown.
Well, I think this might. It's about Albert.
Ah, Albert, my future husband.
Yeah, you see, I've just been talking to Sid and... Husband?
Yes, we're getting married by special license.
Oh, no.
Oh, now, Mr. Brown, I know you're fond of me, but you mustn't take it...
Has he tried to borrow any money from you?
And I fail to see what business that is of yours.
He has. Look, I hate to have to tell you, Miss Courtney, but your future husband is a crook.
Don't be so impertinent.
It's true, I'm afraid. He's a con man. He specialises in proposing to lonely women and then taking their money.
Oh, nonsense. I don't believe it.
Well, ask Sid. His brother-in-law was in prison with him.
Prison? Are you sure?
I'm afraid so.
Well, perhaps he's reformed.
Oh, come on. You don't believe that, do you?
No. I thought it was too good to be true. He's coming back to take me out to dinner. What shall I do?
Don't worry, Miss Courtney. I'll deal with him. You just leave everything to me. Ah, I've got a message for you from Miss Courtney.
Oh, yes?
Push off.
What?
Look, I know all about your little game, so I advise you to get lost quick before I throw you out.
You and whose army?
Me and this army.
Well, yeah. Yeah, well, perhaps I had better be going.
It's all right, Miss Courtney. He's gone.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Brown. Excuse me, Mr. Brown. Can you spare a moment?
Just a moment, Miss Courtney. We're right in the middle of a very interesting debate. Could you wait just a minute, please?
Certainly not.
Oh, very well. Right, Giovanni, out here. Certainly. Go for a drink, Miss Courtney.
No, thank you, Mr. Brown. I want to get to the post office in time to catch the last post.
Oh, I wonder, would you post a letter for me?
Yes, certainly.
That's the one.
Right. Good night, then, Mr. Brown.
Good night.
Well, that's another day over, Sid.
Enter. Ah, Mr. Brown. Hush. Don't you hush me.
Miss Courtney, I'm in terrible trouble.
You certainly are. You're 10 minutes late.
No, worse than that. I've lost £230 that Ranjit gave me to look after.
Well, how on earth did you manage to do that?
Well, I've no idea. It must have fallen out of my pocket. I've looked everywhere. I went to the police station to ask if anyone had handed it in, and they just laughed. I mean, what am I going to tell Ranjit?
The truth, Mr. Brown. But you had better do it in private. You can use my office. I will send him to you.
I suppose the direct approach will be best. Good evening, Miss Courtney.
Good evening, Mr. Brown. I hear you managed to raise the money for Mr. Singh's fair.
Yes, he'll be at the airport now.
How is he going? By plane or balloon?
Oh, you heard about that?
Yes.
Yes, if that caretaker hadn't been on the roof to catch my legs, heaven knows where I'd be now.
Where you usually are, Mr. Brown, with your head in the clouds.
Crumpet!
If this is an example of your teaching methods, Mr. Brown, I am not amused.
Oh, it's probably something he's picked up from Giovanni.
Yeah. Well, I came in to ask you about the coach trip.
What coach trip?
Don't you ever read the notice boards?
Oh, yes. Well, occasionally.
Now listen, everybody. For the past 2 weeks, there has been a notice on the board to the effect that Mrs. Hunter, our history teacher, is organising her annual coach trip to a stately home for Sunday. We are going to Berkeley Hall, the ancestral home of Humphrey, Earl of Berkeley, which is renowned for its remarkable collection of tapestries and ancient manuscripts. Now, who would like to go?
Yeah, well, I had planned to do something on Sunday.
Cancel it.
Yeah, well, I don't think I can, you see.
I shall expect you to be here on Sunday at 12 o'clock sharp.
Everyone. Are the others on the coach?
They all arrived. Not yet.
Morning, everybody!
Buongiorno, everybody!
What is all this?
It's beer! We are not driving, so we can be drinking.
Hey, should we have the first one now?
No, we won't have the first one now. Look, please get on the coach, everybody.
We can't.
Why not?
They've only sent one coach. Miss Courtney's in there now, sorting it out.
What did the man say, Miss Courtney?
The man said you only ordered one coach.
It's not true. I definitely ordered 2 coaches.
Typical male inefficiency. No problem. Yes, we're a coach missing.
Can't they send one round?
They haven't got another one. They're fully booked.
What are we going to do?
Oh, I can get you a coach.
Could you, Sid?
Yeah, my brother-in-law, he's in the coach business. He lets it out for outings and old-age pensioners. I drive for him in my spare time.
Would you like to go and bring him, Sydney?
Oh, don't worry, I'll pop round the corner. It's not very far. I'll be back in 10 minutes with a cockroach.
What?
With a coach.
Stop this at once, please!
I expect they're anxious to get started.
Look, why don't you get going and we'll follow on as soon as Sid arrives.
What a good idea. Now, Mrs. Hunter, will you get on the bus?
Allow me.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Miss Courtney?
No, I'm not going.
Ah, you've changed your mind?
No, I am going on your coach with you.
Stop it, please! Stop it! Oh, blimey. I'm thinking we are missing the bus.
No. Ours hasn't arrived yet.
We are being okay.
All right.
Here we are, Mr. Mark.
Hey, you got some beer as well.
Ah, why don't we have a drink now?
It's a good idea. Oh.
It is not a good idea at all. This is supposed to be an educational trip, not a tippler's tour.
Here we are.
Is this the best you can do, Sid?
Don't worry, she's very comfortable. Just like riding on a cushion of air.
I am thinking we are lost.
We are not lost. Now, where are we, Sid?
I don't know. You had the map. You were doing the navigating.
Well, I couldn't read it in that old bone shaker of yours. It kept jiggling up and down.
Then you should have jiggled up and down with it.
We are most definitely lost.
I'm not lost. We're just not where we should be.
Well, perhaps you could show us where we should be.
Well, I know where we should be. I just don't know where we are.
We are.
Look, we passed a sign just down the road. Now, did anybody see what it said?
Yes, please.
Right, well, I'll look it up on the map, and then we will know where we are.
I really don't think that would be much help, Mr. Brown.
With all due respect, Miss Courtney, I happen to possess a Pathfinder's badge from the Boy Scouts, so I know quite a bit about mapping. Once I know what the sign said, it's a simple matter to find out our exact location. Now, what did the sign say?
Cattle crossing.
Yep.
Do you think you can find that on the map, Mr. Brown?
I'm telling you, we are lost.
If you don't shut up, you'll be lost, because when we move off, we'll abandon you.
Well, I suggest we carry on until we get to a main road. There's bound to be a signpost.
Good idea. Right, start her up, Sid. All right. Right, come on, everyone. Finish your drink, please. We're leaving now.
Now what's the matter?
Well, it sounds to me as if the engine won't start.
That is patently obvious.
The engine won't start.
Why won't it start?
Well, hang on a minute. We'll find out. Boys, give us a hand with that bonnet, will you? Give us a hand with that bonnet. Oh, and, Mr. Brown, switch the indicators on when I tell you. All right? Switch on. Funny.
Sid, your petrol gauge reads empty.
Yeah, well, it's broken. It always reads empty.
How do you know when it is empty?
I've got a dipstick here. See, stand back a minute, will you? Stand back, Miss Courtney. You see, this is the petrol here. You put the dipstick in as far as it'll go. That tells you whether it's full up or whether it's empty. There, it's empty.
Marvellous. We don't know where we are, and even if we did, we wouldn't be able to get anywhere.
Ah, never mind. I'll go and find a garage.
Hey, why don't we all have another?
Well, I suppose there's no telling how long Sid will be. Here, Mr. Brown. Come on, have we got any
Miss
beer
Courtney. No, thank you. And I don't think any of you should have a drink either.
Oh, come on, Miss C. One little drink won't harm anyone.
They have already consumed 2 of those large cans. What goes in must eventually come out. And it could lead to a lot of embarrassment.
Squeeze me, please. I'm already wanting to be embarrassing.
Well, you will have to wait.
Oh, blimey.
I shall wait on the coach.
Right, well, come on, gather round, everyone. While we're waiting for Sid, we might as well have a lesson.
Ah, no lesson.
Mr. Brown is not in the class.
It's no good to work on Sundays. 6 days shalt thou be in labor.
No, shut up.
In China, people work every day.
With respect, we are not in China.
Yeah, all right, we will play a game.
Yeah.
Hey, I know a good game. A kick or a kiss.
Never heard of it.
The boys chase the girls. And when they catch one, they say, what do you want? A kick or a kiss?
That's a good game.
From you, I prefer a kick.
We will play I Spy. Now, that is a game that will help you all with your vocabulary. Now, you give the first letter of something you can see, and everybody else has to try and guess what it is. I'll start it off so you'll see how it's played. I spy with my little eye something beginning with G.
Huh? Gigi! Giovanni.
Now, I'll give you a clue. I'm sitting on it. Bottom. No, Max, gate. Hockey. Right, who's going to go next?
Yes, please.
Ranjit.
I am spying with my little eye something beginning with N.
N, everyone.
Nose?
No.
Nettle.
No.
Nestor.
No.
Neck.
No.
Nap.
No.
Nail.
No.
Knitting.
You are being stupid. Knitting is not starting with the N.
Well done, Ranjit. Right, we give up. Now, you tell us, what is it that begins with N?
Engine.
Yeah.
You damn fool! You are being more stupid than I am.
You call me stupid, you Pakistani puppet.
Don't you two start again.
Hey, Mr Brown! I've got some petrol from an old farm over there.
Oh.
I'll get you there in no time.
Right, come on, everyone. All aboard.
Hurry up, everybody up.
Now come along now.
Hey, wait a minute. Where do you think you're going?
We are going to visit Barclays Hall.
Oh, no, you're not. Shove off.
Don't speak to us like that. I shall report you to the Earl of Berkeley.
I am the Earl of Berkeley. Now, push off if I set the dogs on you.
Look, you don't understand. We have come to visit your stately home.
Well, you're too late. I only open the house from 12 to 4. It's now 4:45. So shove off.
But please, your Earlship, couldn't you possibly...
Certainly not.
I don't believe it. What a waste of a day.
Well, it was a nice drive.
It was a terrible drive.
Do you think so?
You had better take us home, Sidney. And for goodness sake, Mr. Brown, try not to lose us this time.
Don't worry, Miss Courtney. I never make the same mistake twice.
All right, come on, you lot. Get in. I think we're up here.
No, we're definitely down here.
You are both wrong. We are over here.
Squeeze, please. I know where we are.
Well, how?
We are where we are being before.
How do you know that?
I'm finding our drinking things.
Hey, well, that's easy then, isn't it? I know my way back from here.
Well, thank goodness for that. Right, come on, everybody, back on the coast.
Hey, are we on the bus?
I think I am going to scream.
Now what are we going to do?
Well, there's only one thing we can do. Come on, everybody. I spy with my little eye something beginning with rain. Oh, sorry I'm late, Miss Courtney.
So am I. I have just been seeing how your students are getting on.
Oh, I think they're progressing.
Yes, but in which direction?
What have you been saying to upset Miss Courtney?
Oh, blimey, we are saying nothing. She's asking some questions, and we are telling her some answers.
Yeah, well, that explains it.
That will be all, thank you, Gladys.
Yes, all right, Miss Courtney. Good luck.
What does she mean, good luck?
Nothing at all. Now, Mr. Brown, do sit down.
Oh, I've just bought the register, actually.
Well, thank you very much, but there's no need to rush away. Sit down.
Yeah, but my students will
I'm
be
sure
waiting.
they won't miss you for a few moments. Would you care to join me in a cup of tea?
Yes, thank you.
Now, Gladys and I were just talking about you.
Yeah.
We were saying how lonely your life must be. After all, you live alone. There's nothing to do in the evening. I mean, for example, what are you doing tomorrow night after class?
Well, nothing in particular.
Good. Would you care to go to a dance?
Oh, yeah. With you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Brown, but don't be disappointed. I shall be there. But I already have my own escort. No, the Ladies' Circle are holding their annual supper dance. I happen to have 2 spare tickets, and of course I immediately thought of you. You do dance?
Well, a little, but I know Jean Kelly.
Well, that's splendid. There we are, then. That's settled.
Oh, thank you. That's very good of you to consider me.
Oh, not at all, dear boy. You can give me the money later.
Yes, all right. Money?
For the tickets. £5 each.
You didn't say tomorrow night, did you?
Yes.
Oh, dear, what a pity.
What is, Mr. Brown?
Well, I have to go to the laundrette. I'm down to my last clean shirt.
How unfortunate.
Yes, any other night, but tomorrow would have been fine.
Well, of course, if you do have to go to the laundrette...
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, then we had better forget about it.
Yes.
After all, I'm not the sort of person to put pressure on anyone.
Oh, no, I'm sure you're not.
No point in forcing anyone to do anything they don't want to do.
Very true.
Oh, by the way, I shall be having lunch next week with the area education officer. I expect he'll want to know how you're getting on.
Really?
The right word in his ear could lead to a full-time job.
Oh, well, that would be marvellous.
Yes. Pity about the tickets.
£10, you said?
You've changed your mind? How nice.
Ah, la, 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 la.
Sorry, Miss Courtney, we were practicing the Velita.
Well, I think I'll sit this one out, if you don't mind. And I'll have another cup of tea, if you don't mind, Gladys.
Certainly, Miss Courtney.
Well, Mr. Brown, who are you taking to the dance tomorrow night?
Well, I haven't exactly decided yet.
Oh, Mr. Brown, have you decided yet who you're taking to the dance tomorrow night?
Not exactly.
That's good, because Dr. Wilson has just telephoned he's unable to come.
Oh, sorry, I don't understand.
Well, he was to have been my partner. Now you can have that honour, Mr. Brown.
Congratulations, son. You just got your hat trick.
Enter! Mr. Brown, whatever have you done?
Oh, it's nothing really, just a slight accident, a compound fracture.
Well, you can't possibly go to the dance like that.
Oh, I couldn't let you down. No, I insist.
But I wouldn't consider it.
Oh, well, if you feel like that, fine.
Oh, most certainly I do.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you.
Ha! She didn't fall for it, did she?
Absolutely.
Oh, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown? A compound fracture, I think you said.
Yes.
Well, it seems more like a movable fracture to me.
Pardon?
Well, a moment ago it was in the other leg.
Oh, all right.
Well, how do you like... What's the matter?
Why are you dressed like that, Miss Schmidt?
Mr. Brown is taking me to the dance.
Oh, no, he's not. He's taking me.
Mr. Brown?
Look, calm down, everybody. I'm sure there's a perfectly simple solution which will keep everybody's honour satisfied. Thank you very much, Anna.
You're welcome.
And now take your partners for the gay Gordon.
Oh, that's mine, I think, Mr. Brown.
And when you come to the Velita, it's mine.
Well, come along, Mr. Brown, and smile. Excuse me, Mr. Brown.
Yes, Miss Courtney.
What have you done about the concert?
Pardon?
Is everybody in this school going deaf? I want to know what you have done about the school concert.
Concert?
There has been a notice on the board for the past 2 weeks. You haven't read it.
Well,
Mr. Brown has read it. He was discussing it with us before you came in.
Yes, I was.
Good. Then what are you going to do?
Well, I expect we'll all be there.
I should jolly well hope you will all be there. But what I want to know is what your students' contribution will be.
Contribution?
Yes, what little party piece are they going to perform?
Party piece? Well...
Pardon, signora. It's going to be a surprise.
Yes, it's going to be a surprise.
Well, I don't like surprises. I want to be quite sure that what they're going to do will be acceptable. So I suggest that after tea break, you and your class can give me a preview of their intended performance.
He will be here any minute now.
I'm here now, Miss Brown.
Ah, good. Would you like to sit there, Miss Courtney?
Thank you. I do hope I am going to enjoy this.
So do I.
I wouldn't like to be embarrassed in front of our distinguished guests.
Oh, no. What distinguished guests?
Quite a few members of the Education Authority always come to see our concerts. I don't want a repetition of what happened last year.
What happened?
Mr. Jarvis's woodwork students were quite awful. They sang bawdy rugby songs out of tune. Mr. Jarvis still hasn't found another job.
How comforting. Right, would you all come out here when I introduce you? I act as a kind of compere.
Well, I shall stop you if there's anything I don't like.
Right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop.
Is something the matter?
This concert takes place in the afternoon.
Ah. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all sitting comfortably.
Stop.
Now, what was wrong with that?
Mr. Brown, by the time you and your class come on, the audience will have been sitting on those hard chairs for 1.5 hours. I wouldn't mention anything about comfort if I were you.
Ah, no, right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The English as a foreign language class is proud to present a potpourri of music and laughter. And to start us off, we have from Hungary, Zoltán Szabó.
Good evening, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Ah, good afternoon. Hungarian magic. Hungarian paper. Hullámzó Balaton tetején, csónakázik egy halászlegény. Húj, húj, hajrá! Second Hungarian magic.
Stop.
You don't want second Hungarian magic?
I don't think I even want first Hungarian logic.
Bocsánat?
Oh, well, never mind, Zoltán. That's very good. Sit down, yes. Right. And now from Italy, the irrepressible Giovanni Cupello.
Grazie, grazie. For you, I'm gonna do some impersonations. Okie dokie, here we go. Hey, you want a nice piece of salami? I got a lovely piece for you.
And who is that supposed to be?
That's my butcher, Antonio.
We have never heard of your butcher.
Maybe not, but if you add, it's very much like him.
Can't you do any impressions of any well-known people?
Sure I can. Jimmy Cagney. In a scene from the film Disaster on the Fifth Avenue. You dirty rat! Dirty rat! Dirty! I'm gonna fix you! Oh, you dirty rat! I haven't finished yet!
Well, Mr. Cagney sounds remarkably like your butcher. Well done, Giovanni. And now from France, the delightful Danielle.
Thank you. La 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 la. Off. La 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 la. Off. La 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 la. La 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 la. Off.
Do you know any of the words, Danielle?
I do not sing the words, I just dance to the music.
And what is all this off business?
That is when I'm taking off my clothes.
We can't have that sort of thing going on.
It is not going on, it is coming off.
Not in my school.
Yeah, well, thank you, Danielle. Well done. Jolly good. Yes, right. And now, from the mysterious East, we have to sing for you Taro Nagazumi.
I sing for you a traditional Japanese song called A Warrior's 来闷头。隆咚哩咚咚，咩？Why you tell me stop?
Because it was awful.
Oh, I thought it had a certain style.
Yes, sickening.
Sorry. You not like her, my son.
And now, from Germany, will you welcome with her animal impressions, Anna Schmidt?
Danke. I would like you to come with me on a walk in the Black Forest. First, we meet a farmer and his dog. Woof, woof. The dog is chasing the sheep, ba, ba, and the cows, moo, moo. Ah, here comes a man on his horse, neigh, neigh.
No, no, Anna.
Nein, neigh, neigh.
No, you're supposed to make the actual sounds, like whoop, whoop, or bah, bah, or
I can't do that, hurts my throat.
Oh, well, thank you for trying, anyway. Jolly good, well done. Right, and now, from China, with something peculiarly Chinese, will you welcome Miss Chung Su Lee?
Chairman Mao, he say, in the conditions prevailing in China today, the contradictions among the people comprise the contradictions among the working classes, the contradiction among the peasantry, the contradiction among...
This is supposed to be a school concert, not a party political broadcast.
Can't you sing or anything?
I can sing Song of Revolution.
Oh, no. Right, and now it's time for a little comedy from Ali Nadim and Ranjit Singh.
There is a little yellow idol to the north of Kathmandu.
I am saying.
Yes, please.
Why is the rhinoceros being like an elephant?
Why is a rhinoceros is like being an elephant?
Because neither of them can ride a bicycle.
I'm not waiting to know that. Please be leaving the stage. There is a little yellow idol to the north of Kathmandu.
I am saying.
Stop! You are not liking us?
No.
Oh, what did you expect, Morecambe and Wise?
If you're wanting, we can be doing Morecambe and Wise. I could be the fat, short one with the hairy legs.
And I'll be being the one with the glasses.
Yes, well, we'll discuss it later. Thank you. Very good, very good. Right, our next student to entertain you with a little culture is Jamila Ranja.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am tell you beautiful English poetries by Thomas Gray. Elijah, written in country churchyard.
Elegy.
Sorry, Master G. The curfew tolls the knell of parting day, ting day. The lowing herd winds slowly o'er the lea. The ploughman homeward plods his weary way and leaves the world to darkness and to me.
Incredible.
Yeah, I'll work on her pronunciation. Thank you, Jamila. And now, from Spain to entertain you comes Juan Cervantes.
All right. Mr. Brown, he tell you I am from Spain. That surprise you, eh? When I speak, I have no accent at all. In Spain, one times, I was going to be the bullfighter. So, one Sunday afternoon, I go to the bullfight, and they put me in the bull ring. The bull comes out. I look at the bull, And the bull, he look at me. The bull, he look at me, and I look at the bull. And you know one thing? The bull was better looking than me. Hey, why you no laugh? So right. So I not become the bullfighter because I don't kill pretty bulls. Good, huh? Now, you never saw me dance the flamenco. I do it very good.
Oh, right. And finally, to complete our contribution, Greece and Sweden combine, Maximilian Papandreou and Ingrid Svensson.
Okay. And now my beautiful assistant and I are going to do some jiggling. Juggling. Okay.
You ready, huh?
Hi, ready, ham.
Okay. Whee! Ooh.
All we need is a little practice.
Can't afford the plate.
Well done. Sit down, both of you. Jolly.
Well, Mr. Brown, I think we can write your class off.
Oh, please, Miss Courtney, the students will be so disappointed. I mean, we still have 3 days. Just give us a chance, eh?
Oh, well, very well. But remember this, Mr. Brown. Good jobs are hard to find.
Miss Courtney, I brought the register. 2 absentees tonight, Ingrid and Zoltan.
Oh, well, I've had a letter from your Hungarian student.
Oh, has he gone sick?
No, he's gone back to Hungary.
Oh.
Enter.
Excuse me, Miss Courtney?
Yes? What do you want?
I'm Sheikh Al Hamid, and I'm interested in your English classes.
Oh, well, if you don't mind me saying so, your English is fairly good.
Thank you. It is comforting to know that my years at Oxford were not wasted. I would like my personal chauffeur to join your class.
Oh, I'm afraid that is quite impossible. It is midterm and students are not permitted to join halfway through a course. Rules are rules.
I'm sure you could make an exception for a little donation of £2,000.
This isn't the Dorchester Hotel, you know. This is an educational establishment. You can't expect us to bend the rules just because you plonked £2,000 on the table. Can he, Miss Courtney?
Well, of course he can. Where is your chauffeur now?
Outside. Will you come in now?
But he's white.
People usually are from Glasgow.
He's Scots.
But of course.
Well, why do you want us to teach him English?
Because I can't understand a word of what he says. Right, Jock?
I don't mean that, but I don't understand how you don't know what I'm a bit new about. Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying, Jimmy?
Sorry, Miss Courtney, but I think the whole idea is ridiculous. I am supposed to teach English to foreign students.
He sounds like a foreign student.
Look, wouldn't it be far simpler for you to just get another chauffeur?
No, I couldn't do that. You see, Jock's father gave his life defending my father during the war. I feel I owe him a living.
Yeah, well, in that case, why don't you make him very happy and give him a job in your harem or something?
Don't be stupid, Mr. Brown. Oh, I wonder if you'd mind waiting outside for a moment while Mr. Brown and I discuss this matter privately.
Not at all.
The door, Mr. Brown. Now listen to me, Mr. Brown. You are a teacher of English, and it is your job to teach English no matter who or what your students may happen to be.
Well, actually,
don't interrupt. Now, remember that the Arabs are extremely wealthy. Who knows what other benefits they may bestow upon us? Only the other day I was reading in the paper about an Arab who was so pleased with the service at his hotel that he presented the manager with a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, well, we are not running a hotel, Miss Courtney. Money isn't the be-all and end... A Rolls Royce?
Yes.
Well, I suppose I could give it a try.
Good. Look upon it as a challenge.
I'll do my best.
I wonder if you would care to join me in a cup of tea in the office, and then later on I'll show you round the school.
How very kind of you.
Miss Courtney, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I can't do it.
Can't do what?
Put up with our Scottish friend. He's a disruptive influence on the rest of the class.
Mr. Brown, I am afraid that you must. I have invited the Sheikh to meet the Board of Governors. He has promised to give us a new school hall.
I don't care if he's promised to give you the Albert Hall.
Forgive me, I couldn't help overhearing. Is there some sort of problem?
No.
Yes, I'm afraid I cannot put up any longer with this chauffeur of yours. He's rude, self-opinionated, and extremely unpleasant. And you can keep your Rolls Royce.
Mr. Brown is in my office doing some private tuition. Mr. Brown, would you come to my office for a moment?
What, now?
Yes, it is most important.
Well, carry on studying Chapter 10 on spelling. I shan't be long. Is it something I've done?
I sincerely hope not. Take a look at that.
It's a pram.
Oh, well done, Mr. Brown. What do you normally associate with prams?
Babies?
Exactly.
Good Lord, you're not, are you?
Not what?
Expecting?
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
What was that?
A look in the pram.
It's a baby.
Well, it's certainly not a cocker spaniel.
Now, you mustn't worry, Miss Courtney.
I beg your pardon?
These things happen even in the best families. There is no shame these days in being an unmarried mother.
Oh, you silly little man, it's not mine. I found it in the canteen. I have spoken to Gladys, but she denies all knowledge of it. The poor little mite has obviously been abandoned.
Oh, how Dickensian.
I can only assume that one of the students from this school has deliberately abandoned that baby on our doorstep.
I thought you said it was in the canteen.
Well, that's just a figure of speech, Mr. Brown. Now, I shall ask all the teachers to question their respective classes in an effort to discover the guilty party.
OK, I'll go and question mine.
Oh, no, you won't. You will stay here and look after the baby while I inform the rest of the staff.
What? Yeah.
Mr. Brown, what is that baby doing in the classroom?
Wait. I'll give you 3 guesses.
Morning, Mr. Brown.
What is going on?
What are you doing? You're dead!
Really? Nobody told me about it.
It is you, isn't it? It is you!
Of course it's me.
What's his name, the Spanish fella? He phoned up the hospital and they said you was brown bread.
Brown bread?
Dead!
Well, I can assure you I am very much alive.
Then whose funeral have the students gone to? Leaving?
Yeah, I'm sorry to spring it on you like this, Miss Courtney, but it's too good an opportunity to miss.
I see. And when do you propose to take up this new position?
Well, he wants me to start right away, so I thought I'd report to him first thing in the morning.
That doesn't give me much time to find a replacement.
Yeah, I know, but I can't afford to wait and risk losing the job.
Very well, Mr. Brown. You have obviously made up your mind, and I wish you every success.
Thank you.
I hope you'll be happy, but I think I can safely say you won't find another principal like me.
I'm sure I won't.
Enter.
Hello, Miss Courtney.
Mr. Brown, this is a surprise. Did you forget something when you left last night?
No, no.
Then to what do we owe the honour of this visit?
Well, you've done something to your hair.
My hair?
Yes, looks different somehow. Much more feminine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you don't mind me saying so, you really look quite attractive.
All right, Mr. Brown, what are you after? Well, I'm wise enough to know when I'm being softened up. Now, what is it you want? Oh, a reference, no doubt.
Well, not exactly.
Well, what is it, then?
Well, I'll come straight to the point, Miss Courtney.
Good.
I thought about this new job last night, and I've suddenly realised that money isn't everything.
Really?
After all, you can't buy happiness.
So you've decided not to take this job?
You're very perceptive.
I tried to telephone you earlier today to ask you to bring back the register. Mr. English said that you weren't there because there hadn't been a vacancy after all.
Ah.
Yeah. So now you've come crawling back to me, expecting to be reinstated.
Yeah, well, I would be grateful. I mean, after all, it'd be much easier on the students. I mean, easier all round, really.
Do I quite agree?
Oh, good.
Except for one thing. I have already engaged a new teacher.
You, wanted to see me, Miss Courtney?
Oh, yes, Mr. Brown. Are you still jobless?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. I was offered another job this morning, but I turned it down.
Not enough money?
Oh, no, the money was all right. On the face of it, it seemed quite attractive. Office, virtually my own boss. Just didn't like the idea of working below ground.
On the underground?
No, gentlemen's conveniences.
I see. Well, would you like your old job back?
Yeah, but I thought you'd already offered it to someone else.
Well, I had, but he telephoned this morning to say that he had left.
Oh, did he give any reason?
None whatsoever. Well, Mr. Brown, I suggest you start immediately.
Ah, right, Miss Courtney.
On a temporary basis, of course. Good heavens.
Miss Courtney, what are you doing here?
I am the presiding magistrate. Carry on with the charges.
That's all.
Well, what about Mr. Brown?
Oh, I'm not charged with anything.
What are you doing in the dock?
I've come here to speak on their behalf.
He's our mouthpiece. Sure. He's going to spring us.
You see, Miss Courtney...
Stop. You must come down onto the floor of the court if you wish to address the bench.
Oh, right. You see, Miss Courtney, there
Stop. I am not Miss Courtney.
Funny. She looked like Miss Courtney.
You will kindly address me as Your Honour.
Sorry, Miss Courtney. Your Honour. But there are mitigating circumstances, and I'm sure that when you've heard what the students have to say, you will decide to act leniently.
Well, we'll see about that after we have heard the explanation.
Yes. Well, it all happened last Friday evening after class. As part of their homework, I decided to give the students various tasks to perform, things to do, places to visit. The past participle of the verb to tell is told.
Mr. Brown, may I remind you that you are not here to teach English?
Yes, Miss Courtney. Sorry, Your Honour.
Carry on. Mr. Brown, have you anything to say before I give judgment?
Yes, Miss Courtney. Yes, Your Honour. I beg the court to show clemency in this case. These poor unfortunate people are guests in our country. They have journeyed from their native lands to our shores to learn our mother tongue. Why? Because they admire our English way of life, with its long tradition of hospitality, free speech, justice, and above all, fair play. They have committed no offence in their eyes. They were merely carrying out their duties as they saw them. I mean, one only has to look at them to see that they are not criminals. I'm sure the court will find them innocent. If anyone is guilty, it is I.
Thank you, Petrocelli. Well, having regard to your impassioned plea for mercy, the court tends to agree with your remarks. The accused are more misguided than mischievous. Therefore, the court finds the defendants not guilty. However, the court agrees with Mr. Brown that if anyone is guilty, he is. To have sent out these poor, unfortunate students on such foolhardy errands is highly irresponsible. It is a pity that the court cannot punish you. But be warned, Mr. Brown. If you ever come before this bench again, for whatever reason, you will be severely dealt with. The court will adjourn.
terribly sorry. You want to come for a drink? Oh, no, thanks. I'm driving.
Is this your car, sir?
Yes.
Having trouble with your memory, are you, sir?
Pardon?
Your road tax disc has run out, sir.
Ah, well, I'm sure I've applied for it.
What's going on, Constable Jones?
Another tax dodger, madam.
Really? Well, while you're at it, Constable, why don't you check his lights and his tires? How about his insurance? I shall be sitting again tomorrow.
Good evening.
Ah, Mr. Brown, just the man I want.
You lucky devil. Sorry.
Would you step into my office?
Yeah.
Not you. Mr. Brown.
After you, Miss Courtney. Did you have a nice weekend?
Oh, very pleasant. I spent 2 days in lieu.
Huh? In lieu of what? Oh, in lieu in Cornwall. Oh, yeah.
I have brought something for you. Here.
It's a tape recorder.
Yes.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Miss Courtney. Thank you very much. I didn't expect you to buy me anything.
Well, that's good, because I haven't.
Oh, but I thought this was a...
That tape recorder belongs to the music class. I thought it might be a good idea if you used it to try to improve your students' elocution.
Oh, yes, that is a good idea. How does it work?
It is self-explanatory, Mr. Brown. Stop, start, wind, rewind, record.
Ah. Shouldn't there be a microphone?
It is fully built in.
Oh, fully?
Now, when you have finished it, perhaps you would return it to the music class?
Yes, certainly.
You may go.
Thank you. Pompous old twit. That old hen, she's such a pompous old twit.
Haven't you a class to go to?
Yeah, I was just going.
Oh, just one moment.
Something the matter?
Yes, it's still switched on.
Oh, my God!
I do hope you weren't being indiscreet.
No, of course, I never said anything, did I, Sid?
No, not a dicky bird. Never opened his normal shout.
Well, we'll see, shall we?
I think I'll go and sweep the floor.
Yes, I...
Stay where you are. Now, let's see what we can hear. When you have finished with it, perhaps you would be kind enough to return it to the music class?
Yes, certainly.
You may go.
Thank you. Here we are, that's it, there's no more.
No, definitely no more.
Just a moment.
Pompous old twit. She's a pompous old twit.
I see. I am a pompous old twit, am I?
That wasn't you.
Really?
Good Lord, no, was it, Sid?
No, mister, another old hen.
Yeah.
Then who was it?
Who? Well, it was...
Yes, it was the other old boiler, Gladys the tea lady.
Yes, that's right, Gladys.
I would hardly call Gladys pompous.
Oh, wouldn't you? She can be very pompous at times.
I see. Well, perhaps you would tell pompous Gladys that I am waiting for my coffee.
Right. Do you know my horoscope was right? I was forecast to clash with authority, ending in disaster.
That wasn't disaster.
Enter.
I'm returning the tape recorder. I took it back to the music class, but they'd all gone home.
Oh, very well. You can leave it there. Have you finished now?
Yes, I've just got to give them their homework. I think I've got a slight problem.
Oh? Your class is one big problem.
I'm rather worried about Anna.
In what way?
Well, she burst into tears when she arrived, and so far, she's refused to say what's troubling her.
Oh, dear. I do hope it isn't Miss Rowbottom all over again.
Pardon?
Needlework class, last term. Exactly the same symptoms. Weeping all over her embroidery. Refused to say why.
Did you ever find out what was the matter?
Oh, yes.
Was it something serious?
Was for Miss Rowbottom. She was pregnant. Oh, Mr. Brown, is this some more jumble for our school fete?
Yes, just a few things my students brought in.
What are these?
Sikh underwear from Ranjit.
Oh, well, I suppose we can always ask the needlework class to sew up the flies and take a bit off the legs and put them in as a pair of football shorts. Thoughts of Chairman Mao. No need to ask where that came from.
Oh.
Danielle?
Max.
I beg your pardon?
He swears he found it in his pocket. There's no idea how it got there.
Likely story. Well, you better bring this along to my office later and we'll lock it up with all the rest of the stuff until Saturday.
Very well.
By the way, we've got one.
One what?
Don't you ever read the notice board? I don't get a lot. Obviously not. There has been a notice on the board for the past 2 weeks to the effect that we were hoping to get a celebrity to open our school fetes.
Oh, yes, I remember now. Who have you got?
Robert Dougal. You remember? He used to read the news. I've got the art class making stickers with his name on to put across the posters.
Buenas noches, señora.
Good evening, Mr. Cervantes. How's your English?
Por favor.
Your English?
Your English. Me Spanish.
I'm sorry I asked.
Yes, pretty good.
Mr. Brown, Miss Courtney asked me to remind you to take the jumble in.
Ah, thank you, Sid. I'll be there straight away. Right up. Right, I shan't be a minute. In the meantime, would you turn to page 130 and study the chapter on clause analysis? Max, would you clean the board?
Okay, boss.
Oh, no. Well, how awful. Are you sure? Oh, dear. Yes, well, thank you very much for telling me. Goodbye.
Bad news?
Extremely. Mr. Dougal has flu. He is confined to bed.
Oh, great. There goes our celebrity.
Well, now what are we going to do? We've got no one to open the fates.
Just a minute. Max.
Max? The Greek? Well, he's not a celebrity.
No, but apparently he knows Arthur Mullard. You know, that TV chappie?
Oh, yes, I think I know the one you mean. Speaks a bit like Sydney.
That's him.
Oh, well, I suppose beggars can't be choosers. Do you think Mr. Papandreas could get this Mr. Mallard?
Mullard?
Yeah, Mallard, yes.
Oh, why don't we go and ask him?
What a good idea, Mr. Brown.
Right, Max, I want a word with you. I was telling Miss Courtney that you know Arthur Mullard. No, you are, don't you?
Come on, speak up.
Max, how many times do I have to tell you? Smoking is not allowed.
Never mind about that now, Mr. Brown. You know this Mr. Mallard really well, do you?
We are just like that. He'd do anything for me.
And you say he'd be happy to open our fate?
Sure he would.
Oh, I expect he's far too busy.
For me, he'd drop anything.
Good. Then you can ask him to open our fate on Saturday.
Okay, I ask him to... What?
Tell him to be there by 12 o'clock.
Oh, we'll pay his expenses, of course. Oh, thank you, Mr. Papandreas. You have saved the day. Now, come along, Mr. Brown. You've got to...
This, boss, maybe he's had an accident.
Tell him, Maxie.
Tell me.
Oh, down in the basement, we have a gymnasium.
Very nice.
Oh, Mr. Brown. This is Mr. Brown, our English teacher.
How'd you do?
And you know Max, of course.
Yes.
Very good of you to come.
Well, it's all in a good cause, and I couldn't let a mate down, could I?
I told you he was a friend of mine.
Well, come along now. It's time we opened the fete. Oh, Mr. Papandreas, I wondered if you'd be awfully kind and get my coat for me. I think it's hanging on a rail in the office.
Oh, no.
Now, what's the matter?
It doesn't matter. See you at the fete. Yes, well, I hope you find Miss Courtney's questions as amusing. She'll be here any minute.
Please.
Don't interrupt. I tend to tolerate your frivolous attitude, but you'll find that Miss Courtney is a horse of a different colour.
Oh, blimey. You should not be calling Miss Courtney a horse.
I wasn't, although there may be a certain resemblance.
Mr. Brown, please.
Just a minute, Daniel. I haven't finished yet. As I was saying, Miss Courtney will not be as tolerant as I, but on the other hand, you mustn't let her intimidate you. She may be a bit of an ogre, but she's only human.
Excuse me, please, Mr. Brown.
What's to you, or why are you constantly interrupting me?
I think they are trying to indicate my presence.
Ah, Miss Courtney, I didn't hear you come in.
Obviously.
How long have you been
Long
here?
enough. And now, Mr. Brown, if you don't mind, this horse of a different colour, this human ogre, would like to find out how clever your students are.
Yeah, well, certainly. They're all yours.
Now, who would like to be first? Well, don't all rush to volunteer. Oh, very well. I will ask a question, and anyone who wishes may answer. Now then. What is a circumflex? Oh, come along, circumflex. C-I-R-C-U-M-F-L-E-X. I'm sure somebody knows what a circumflex is.
Yes, please.
What is it?
No milk today.
I beg your pardon.
So sorry. Circumflex is an accent mark.
Would you bring me that piece of paper, please?
Which piece of paper?
The piece you are hiding in your hand?
You are meaning this one?
Thank you. Mr. Brown? Mr. Brown?
Yes?
Would you wait in the corridor until I have finished with your students?
Well,
Good, and shut the door after you. Oh, and Mr. Brown.
Yes?
You might as well take this. You may need it for your milkman. Now, to continue. I don't think I can stand anymore. Mr. Brown.
Finished already?
I am leaving while I still retain some shred of sanity.
Well, you obviously didn't give her very good answers.
Not our fault. Questions were too difficult.
Well, you'll just have to work harder, right? It's almost time to go now. Don't forget your homework, please. See you tomorrow.
See who that is, Mr. Brown.
It's her. It's Ali's wife. I wonder what she wants.
Are you sure you didn't tell Ali about her affair?
Positive. I just told him I'd lost her.
Well, perhaps he wants to confide in you because you are Ali's friend.
Oh, well, couldn't she confide in you?
Certainly not. It is your problem. You will deal with it. I'll leave you alone. Mr. Brown will see you now.
Sorry about that. Come in, Rahana. Sit down.
I am wanting to be asking you something.
Yeah, well, before you do, I've got something to tell you. Please sit down.
Not important now.
Well, Mr. Brown, how did you manage?
Extremely well, I think, Miss Courtney. Oh, sorry. I was very tactful and, well, I think she got the message. Evening, everybody.
Evening, Mr. Brown.
Miss Courtney.
You're late.
Yeah, well, no, I've been here for ages. I've been all over the school looking for you.
Really? What for?
Well, I was to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, how kind. How did you know?
Oh, I found out. Class?
Happy birthday, Miss Courtney.
Thank you very much. Anything else?
No.
Oh, I see. Well, Mr. Brown, if you are late one more time, you're in trouble.
Miss Courtney. Bird?
I'll run out of ice and sugar.
Yes, well, let's just hope she won't notice.
Can you be seen the clock, please?
Well, not until Miss Courtney opens it, but I can assure you it is beautifully engraved on the bottom.
Is that Miss Courtney's bottom or the clock's bottom?
Very amusing, Giovanni.
Is it ticking-tocking now?
Yes, it's set at the correct time, and once it's wound up, it goes for a full 8 days.
Hey, that's no good. What's going to happen after the 8 days, huh?
She winds it up again.
Sorry, wrong number.
Miss Courtney is all the way.
Right, light the candles, Rita.
Rita, where you put my mink jacket? I didn't think it was safe leaving it here, so I gave it to Mr Henshaw. Good. You put it in your office?
Not likely. Anybody could knock it off there. I put it in Miss Courtney's office.
She's here.
Right, ready, everybody.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Courtney. Happy birthday to you.
Hooray!
Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hip, hip.
Oh, what a lovely surprise. Thank you all so much.
Ah, don't mention it. And now,
And thank you for my wonderful present.
on behalf of the... Pardon?
Oh, sneaking into my office when I wasn't looking. Oh, it's lovely. I've always wanted a mink coat.
You could give her the clock.
I give you a clock.
That's enough. Miss Courtney.
Mr. Brown, I was just thinking about you.
Really?
Yes, there's something I want to say to you.
There's something I have to say to you.
Oh, well, after you.
No, after you.
No, I insist. What did you want to say?
Well, wouldn't you like to sit down?
Oh, no. I don't want to crush this mink. Go on.
Well, firstly, let me say that right away I have no wish to upset you on your birthday.
Oh, nothing you could say today would upset me.
I wouldn't bank on that.
Mr. Brown, I must confess that there have been times in the past when I have thought that you were selfish and lazy and inconsiderate.
Well, I am.
But you aren't. I was wrong. And I want you to know that I shall never forget this birthday as long as I live.
Neither will I.
Oh, it's such a wonderful present.
Yeah, Miss Courtney.
Call me Dolores.
Pardon?
And I think it's time we stopped being so formal. While we're in the office here alone, there's no reason why we can't be more intimate.
Intimate?
Yes. Well, you may call me Dolores, and I shall call you Jeremy.
Look, Miss Courtney.
Ah.
Dolores.
That's better.
About this mink jacket. What's the matter?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just that, well, I'm so overcome. It's such an expensive gift you've given me.
No, I didn't.
Well, I know that your students must have contributed, but after all, it was your idea, wasn't it?
Well, actually...
And I just don't deserve it. I mean, what did I give you for your birthday last year? A ballpoint. A miserable ballpoint.
Well, if it'll make you any happier, I'll take the mink back and buy you a ballpoint.
It looks like another one of them letters for you.
Oh, no. You have been warned. I am going to get you. Oh, I really think I should tell the police.
Miss Courtney, about the jacket.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Now, I don't want to crush it. I wonder if you would be kind enough to hang it up for me.
Well, there's something I must tell you.
Not now, Mr. Brown. Later. Can't you see I'm busy?
We go home.
Truth about what, Mr. Brown?
Ah, Miss Courtney.
What have you been up to now?
Nothing.
Tell her, Mr. Brown.
Yeah, well, Miss Courtney, it is about the mink jacket.
Yes, well, I have something to say about that.
I'm afraid there has been a dreadful mistake.
I'm afraid I can't accept it.
You see, what happened was that Ingrid... Pardon?
Well, as chairperson of the Women's Guild, I have no alternative. You see, we're against animal furs.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. I mean, oh, what a pity.
Yes, it is. Oh, I do hope you don't think I'm being ungrateful.
No, don't worry about it.
You do understand?
Yes, of course, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. Oh, and, thank you all so very much.
Oh,
stand back! Stand back, it's a ball!
Thank you very much.
You go that way, I'll go this.
Shut up.